Hello and welcome to my second channel video where I compiled all of my favorite or all the times I talk about anime, and I shall start with a little bit of a story time of how I got into anime. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit of a doozy content, bro. Because I did get into anime in a very interesting fashion where I just, for the longest time, watched Pokemon, and that's all I watched for the longest time. And then a certain YouTuber, or I watch a lot of YouTuber where they kind of mention Fairy Tail, which I then checked out. At first I did check out Sword Art Online, but it wasn't the right anime, so I drop it momentarily and look up Fairy Tail one more time, and that's how I got into anime. And now I'm in love with anime, and my favorite, of course, one anime is One Piece, bro. So let's go to the past Infinite King, shall we? Hello. I am the Infinite King, as you may know. I'm also known in a lot of names, like the Cringe Lord, but none I take pride in my title as the Culture King. The Cultured King. Now, that would be the premise of this video. I mean, it's just in general story time. I mean, literally just me telling the story of my origin. Gather up, kids, grandchildren, because you're going into a wild ride. If you do enjoy my content, please do leave a like and subscribe. I upload twice weekly an anime discussion and a top 10, top 5 video list every Monday, and I'm gaming playthrough every Friday. As of I'm recording this, I am currently playing through Xenoverse 2 in my YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's go right into this cozy little story time with the Infinite King. Now, my gateway in anime is Fairy Tail. I've told this like a couple times in any gameplay. I think the first time I told this story is when I played through Pokemon Victory Fire, which is definitely gonna be linked in the description of the playlist. It's on my YouTube channel. One of my most prevalent and longest playthrough that I did in this channel, and I think that also spanned like a couple of years for me to play, to have an official playthrough, because I do have like an early channel in Infernape Torregosa that have my original playthrough of that, just me playing through the post game. That's like a finished playthrough that I decided to game on. But then, well, I decided to restart the entire playthrough into a brand new one. Yeah. And then one of the stories I did told in that playthrough is me having a gateway anime that is Fairy Tail. If it weren't for Fairy Tail, I wouldn't be a massive weeb today, enough so that I binge all big 3 anime in the span of 3 years. Like, I started with Bleach because Bleach was really popular. It's really accessible because it was on Netflix, but now it was taken down to Netflix. Thanks, Disney. Thank you so much, Disney. I started with Bleach and then go on to Naruto, because Naruto is also on Netflix, the original Naruto. I started Bleach, Naruto, and then I ended up with One Piece in that regard. Bleach, Naruto Shippuden, and One Piece. And that's how I binge all, I think, in the span of 3 to 4 years, right? Because I started watching Bleach 2013, 2014? Yeah, 2014-ish. End of 2014. And then I watched a couple of series, and then I finished through Bleach. I finished through Naruto. I think Naruto was a wild, fun ride, and then One Piece. It took me a little longer actually to binge. It took me a little longer because it is a rather, I think it took me at least 2 years off and on kind of watch. But I've binged all of 3 shonens, and then I delve into romance anime and rom-com anime. But initially Fairy Tail also pushed me to degeneracy. Oh my god, I can't speak. And actually anime in general. I was 15 then. I was very much naive. When I saw Anime Booba, Lucy's Anime Booba from that one from episode 1, I was like, oh my god, I think this is gonna be my entire life from now on. There was no going back. And then I first checked out my first isekai, but surprisingly enough, it didn't push me to the isekai fandom. It's Sword Art Online, which is also mildly, very much ecchi, very mild, more on romance there, but it is still ecchi. But it was my very first, actually very mild, but my first ecchi. And then at age 15, I was a degenerate weeb. Oh my goodness, that's the entire completed synopsis of how I become a degenerate. Started off in the shonen jump genre and then branches off in the romance and rom-com. After finishing Fairy Tail and Sword Art Online, I discovered the One Core Bench. Oh my god. The One Core Bench is the 12 to 3 episode series which was bingeable in one sitting. Yes, I find myself binging 12 series in that era. In age 15 to 16, I find myself easier to binge 16 episodes. High School DxD, High School of the Dead, all those series, I literally binged them in one sitting back when I was younger. Oh, but now I can't really do that. I'm more of a manga binger now. Then I discovered, oh my god, why is this script even about Rule 34? And the tagline, if it exists, it's got to have a prawn of it. Closely after that, I discovered Genta because you know what? If you're a weeb, you want to see your favorite character get naked. So that's how I started all of my degenerate ways. You know what? I should have continued this in a playthrough episode of Scene the Rip. But you know what? This deserves a video of its own. But if you still enjoy my content, I do a lot of anime top 5 and top 10. Every Monday, I do a lot of anime discussions. Anything of that jazz. I call it the Infinite Talks. Cringe name, by the way. The Infinite Talks. And every Friday, I play a game. A Let's Play. So, please do leave a like and subscribe as I slowly die of embarrassment here and cringe, because I think this is cringe-worthy of a story time. Real short video, but I enjoyed talking about my anime origins and how I got into anime. This is also doubles that kind of story. Without further ado, see you guys in the next video. And how was that? Did it tickle your fancy on how I got into anime? I am quite a cultured one as well. So, without further ado, like I mentioned earlier, I did say one of my favorite series of all time ever since getting into anime is One Piece. Now this next bit right here is where I talk about one of my favorite kind of power scaling in all of anime, which is of course the bounties in One Piece. Bounties in One Piece. I did not think I would do a video about bounties in One Piece. Many already talked about it on their channel, and yet I felt compelled to do a video on the bounties in One Piece because I saw a video on my For You page on TikTok about how Law and Kid have equal bounty to Luffy when Luffy is stronger in terms of power, and went on talking about bounty being power driven, which is just plain wrong, honestly. So if you do enjoy my content, you find this informative, and if I missed something about bounties in One Piece, please let me know in the comment section below, and let's get discussion going. Or further ado, if you do enjoy my content, please leave a like and subscribe. I do a lot of anime related content and gaming related content on this YouTube channel, so please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and let's go on with the video. My take on that is, yes, bounty is partly based on strength, but it's not all about power and strength. There's also infamy, such as the reason why Kid has a higher bounty than Luffy back in Sabaody. Sure, pre-time skip, Luffy raided Enies Lobby, defeated 2 of the warlords, but Luffy did not pillage or actively attack innocent civilians, which Kid does, and that's why Kid was considered a bigger threat and much more imposing than Luffy, influence-wise. Our overall threat, the world government, think about it this way. Shanks and Blackbeard are emperors of the sea, but are they stronger than Big Mom and Kaido that are also emperors of the sea? Perhaps fans even dub Big Mom as the weakest emperor, and yet Shanks and Blackbeard have the lower bounties than Big Mom and Kaido. That's because Big Mom and Kaido have more infamy, have more experience, have more influence. Even Whitebeard has more experience than them because they're relatively new. Yonko, both Blackbeard and Shanks are. Oh my goodness. They're more experienced and thus view them much more as a threat than the newer guys, right? Like the new guys around the block. Now, next example hits closer to home with Luffy and Zoro. Many fans have argued whether Zoro is stronger than Luffy or not. And if you are in the opinion that Zoro is stronger than Luffy, and the world government will always view Luffy as a bigger threat than Zoro due to Luffy's infamy and influence over many countries and many people, and will always have the higher bounty. I mean, he's also the captain. Come on now, that's like the given. It's like a very much given. He's also the captain. He's much more influential. Zoro just follows him around as a right-hand man. Just saying. Back to post. Wano. In the perspective of the world government, Law, Luffy, and Kid, captain of their own crew, collaborated to defeat the newly formed alliance between Kaido and Big Mom. It only makes sense for them to have equal bounties because of the information spreading. They collaborated to defeat both Big Mom and Kaido. Okay, tangent here. The contributing fact is also that their information is very limited due to Wano being an enclosed country. So very limited in their perspective, based on the information given. Kaido and Big Mom form an alliance, and the three supernovas, Kid, Law, and Luffy, collaborated to defeat them. So, of course, based on that, they have equal bounties, thus have equal threat level at that point. Not to mention, they're also captain of their own crews as well. So they're very influential at that point. Captain of their own crew, collaborated with each other to defeat the newly formed Kaido Big Mom alliance, and the fact that Wano is also a secluded country that has limited information around what's the happenings of that country. In my opinion, it makes more sense for Kaido and the world government to think as such. Meanwhile, another example of an alliance of the Straw Hats did against a Yonko crew is with Beige on the Whole Cake Island. I really do feel bad for Beige for this one. He was the one planning and preparing the whole Big Mom assassination plot, and yet Luffy took credit for the assassination plot and ended up with a higher bounty only because the intel reports lean towards Luffy orchestrating the attack of Big Mom. I mean, it's also biased that personal bias of the reporter, which is Morgan at that point. He really wanted to have Luffy accentuate the entire orchestrating the assassination part of Big Mom. Just saying, all of those reports are lean towards Luffy having the major part instead of Beige. You really do feel bad for Beige at that point. I think Beige should have more credit on that one. And part of why I love bounties as a power skill compared to Dragon Ball or any other series power scale is based on individual strength, which will be irrelevant when the main character beats the villain and the story progresses. Meanwhile, in One Piece, in bounties, since it's not primarily based on strength and it's based more on the notoriety of that individual, it doesn't affect the relevancy, and I can definitely yap longer about bounties. And from that one TikTok that I saw, I felt compelled to add my opinion onto the list and my own input into the bounties, which is what one of my favorite, or one of my beloved kind of power scaling in anime. And of course, you guys can also discuss over what I miss about bounties in One Piece. So yes, on the comment section below. And this next bit, one thing that I've gotten into is anime figure collecting. Yeah, I mean, I literally have a freaking Sun God Nika figure here, and a Gear Fort Luffy, and of course this poor little thing that just lost its stand. Oh wait, actually I have my own stand over here, which is definitely not a stand, but it's a candle. I can just have it. I can have this Luffy right here. Stand it using the candle here. Don't touch. Okay, like that. Perfect. That's it. That's my own self-made stand for that, because it lost its stand. So yes, this next bit right here is my Uta figure. I mean, the first time I watched One Piece film Red, which now is in Netflix, I freaking love Uta. Uta is now becoming one of my favorite villains of One Piece. I mean, it's just interesting to see a female villain in a One Piece movie, not just a very muscular dude. And for some reason, it felt refreshing to like Luffy not brute strength his way out of a villain. It's like it requires strategy just to take down freaking Uta. I love that. And that is why I love Uta. And I love the music too. Like call it that you can call it the freaking One Piece musical, but I love Uta's music, or Ado's music, dude. Chef's kiss that. Oh my goodness. And now here we go with the Uta figure. Welcome to another unboxing video. Yes, full screen today, yeah. And today we will be unboxing one of my favorite movies. Oh my god, cut away. You can usually tell how old this video. I think this is a year old, because you can tell it because I have an era of earphones. This is the green earphones era right now. We're leaving that era, but this is the time when I got a carriers of liquidation of Bianca Amor. It's a very cheap plasticky kind of cat earphones too. I just bought it for the memes and for the lols, and I legit streamed and created content with the earphone until it broke, until it reaches its maximum potential, and it broke. And now I'm struggling to get a new one. I still have a lot, actually. I still have a lot. This is my green headphones era right now. So yes, I found it freaking hilarious that I'm in my cat earphones right here. Slash waifus of One Piece, which is, I just got this too. Uta. The Uta figure, I think the glitter and glamour figure, yeah. Uta from One Piece Film Red. One Piece Film Red is one of my favorite movies anyway, right next to Baruto Matsui. And Uta is my favorite character in that movie. So yes, let's go right ahead and unbox this adorable waifu. Boop, 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 boop. Here you go. Just unbox right there. Box inside of a box. Yeah. Oh, more boxes. More boxes. Oops. More boxes. And a lot of you probably cringe from that. The way I unboxed that. There you go. There you go. There's from the stand to the two wings and the arm, the head of Uta-chan, and then the full body. Let's start on Uta. Speaking of which, I need to rewatch. I need to freaking. Oh, halfway done? No, not really halfway done. Not really halfway done for Uta. Let's go start off with the wings here. Let's go start off with the wings. I need to get reminded which side is which. I think it's very straightforward in this one. Cute. Pretty cutie. This was the cute anime figure, huh? I mean, this is the very first female villain that the Straw Hat had faced. So you can feel a little bit favoritism in my part. A beautiful, young, female villain. A little bit of a bias there. Ooh. The little wings here. Wait, so the wings is part of Uta's body? Is she like from Sky Island? I think she's from wings is part of her body. Or is this just a prop? Is this a prop or is it really part of her body? The wings. Oops. Right there. Oops. The arm, Uta's arm. Their arm and Uta's head. And Uta's head. Here you go. The full figure right here. Should we have add music for Uta from Uta? No, that's copyright. No. Look at that! What a very cute figure. Just saying, I love me some Uta characters, man. I love it. It's so cute and adorable. And a little bit heavy, not gonna lie. It's a heavy figure. Yeah, that's about it for our. That is my Uta unboxing figure. Oh my goodness, I freaking love how cute Uta is, man. Oh my god. And it's still sitting right over the very top of the center. My mushroom. Right. Oh my goodness. That is still sitting right there. And I don't want to pick it up because I don't want to mess up the arrangement of my fingers. So let's go right here. Oh, my body pillow. Boom. You guys saw my body pillows right there. So be glad. So without further ado, next bit is gonna be Rimmer Tempest's discussion video, because as you may know, I'm a huge fan of Isekai. I love Isekai. You guys love Isekai? I love Isekai. One of my favorite characters in Isekai is Rimmer Tempest. Just love how cute it is and how this cute, adorable slime with a freaking like a cute kind of female human form is somehow ruling a huge influential country. It's just so quirky to me. His energy reminds me of Luffy's energy and Luffy's excitement kind of vibe, and how, what's the word, how quirky and energetic he can be. Oh my goodness, I love this kind of protagonist, outgoing protagonist now. So without further ado, let's discuss Rimmer Tempest from that time I got reincarnated as a slime. He's not a bad slime. Welcome to this week's character discussion, where we will be discussing about my favorite cutest slime demon lord of the Octagram, Rimuru Tempest, and his origin, his personality, his species, not specifically species, his ideals and goals. Now, I did an ASMR discussion on Rimuru's skill on over at my ASMR channel and how they evolve over time. So I won't be discussing Rimuru's OP skills. If you enjoy this video and if you find it informative, please do leave a like button and subscribe. I do a lot of flashlight anime discussion and top 10 top 5 videos. Without further ado, let's dive right on in to Rimuru Tempest. Rimuru Tempest is the main protagonist of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Formerly, he was Satoru Mikami, a middle-aged Japanese salaryman, as isekai goes, who is content living a bachelor life at age 37. One day, when his kohai at work and fiance invited him for a lunch out, a robber passing by to stab him in. Not gonna lie, this is the time where Truck-kun was kind of laying low, which then reincarnated him as a slime, thinking of a body impervious to pain, diseases. The voice of the world reincarnated him as a slime, so that's the starfish's origin. His slime body was later revealed to be birthed by Veldora's massive aura. Later, Rimuru then met with Veldora, the storm dragon, which was sealed by a mysterious hero to stop him from one of his rampages, which Veldora explained much of the world to Rimuru, like heroes, demon lords, and reincarnated individuals, and even otherworlder as well. The two then shared a friendship in that short amount of time that vows to help each other out from their brief meeting, which led to Veldora naming the nameless slime, because of course Rimuru was reincarnated as a monster, which is that alone. He didn't reincarnate by his name Satoru Mikami, the nameless slime Rimuru, and Rimuru then gave Veldora and him a shared name, a family name as human standards go, which strengthened their connection, and that would be Tempest. Thus, Rimuru Tempest and Veldora Tempest was reborn. Their connection was strengthened due to that little naming convention, because naming apparently evolved or strengthened a monster or even a skill, in fact, and even their bonds as well. So the fact that Rimuru gave that Tempest name strengthened their connection even more. Massive oversight that I actually did for this discussion video is not discussing Shizu. Shizu is a relatively important character to Rimuru. I mean, he's the first character that was Japanese, was also a summoned otherworlder. Was also a otherworlder, building up another demon lord, and then at the end building another arc for Rimuru to tackle, which is the children, the releasing of the children's curse arc, and the meeting between Rimuru and Leon Cromwell as well, and essentially the passing of torch for Shizu in Shizu's case to Rimuru. Remember that last point of that last paragraph? Naming monsters, skills, and even naming bonds can strengthen everything in terms of monster relations. Well, that's gonna bite Rimuru in the ass. Isn't that right? Rimuru then encountered a goblin that was under attack by some dire wolves. The dire wolves that originated from the eastern continent migrated with the hopes of conquering the Jura Forest, which then their first target was the goblin village. Rimuru then helped the goblins from helping the injured, building a fence to defend from the wolves, and even defeating the direwolves' leader, which led Rimuru leading a goblin village. The humble beginning of what would later become the strongest and most influential race or country in the world of Tensor. I mean, he started off by naming the goblins and the son of the direwolves, which then the direwolves evolve group by group into Tempest wolves with Ranga as the leader, and then the goblins each evolve into hobgoblins by giving them names as well. So you know how this will slowly progress into Rimuru giving names and evolving a lot more monsters, intelligent monsters, and just breaking the power scaling in the world, so creating chaos essentially. Let's discuss the most prominent elephant in the room for Rimuru. It's naming the monsters that serves him. I mean, have a group of powerful demons, name them. Have a group of powerful ogres, name them. Have a very powerful skill, name them. Even naming the bond he had with Veldar, which ultimately strengthened their connection. Yeah, name them. After now, naming non-human entities like monsters, demons, etc. gives enough power boost to evolve into the next stage. Rimuru started from naming goblins and then evolved to hobgoblins, direwolves with Ranga as the leader, to evolve to high level of monsters such as ogres, the lizard men, orcs, the demon race. Of course, naming so many monsters caused Rimuru's energy or magicules to diminish much more quickly, which then resulted from him being unconscious for 3 whole days. But the true dragons have immense amount of power that Rimuru unconsciously stole a bit of that power from Veldora that he lacks. This arrangement does sound fair in my opinion, because Rimuru is allocating a portion of his skill and abilities to help break Veldora's seal that the hero cast on him. So I feel like that's like a good trade-off from Veldora's energy to Veldora's energy, between Veldora's energy and Rimuru's skill. So that's a good trade-off. I am on Great Sage side there the entire time. And everything changed when the humans attacked. I mean, when the kingdom of Formus attacked, many monsters under Rimuru died that day. When everything seems lost, Aaron, a disguised elf that has been friends with Rimuru and Shizu for a long time, told them about the story of the dragon princess and her pet, which I almost immediately thought Melim at that point. How she attempted spirit resurrection and failed. Rimuru, with the help of Great Sage, Wisdom King Raphael, was able to perform the spirit resurrection, because they figured out that they needed the soul to be contained in a specific part of the world, which they used Shuna's barrier and I think the anti-magic barrier that the enemy cast on their city. So in all likelihood, that was actually very opportunistic of the Great Sage to just contain all of the souls within one, and then just preserving the body as well. That was a huge success. Of course, the spirit resurrection then required a huge reserve of magicules that only rival a demon lord. It requires a huge amount of magical reserves. But then, the evolution to Demon Lord needed a Demon Lord seed, which Rimuru acquired from the Orc Lord, and 10,000 soul. Luckily, the army from Farmas sent over about 20,000 sacrifice. I mean, armies that march on to Tempest definitely not sacrifices, because that is one heckin' powerful scene right there. That merciless kind of Wrath of the Gods scene, Megiddo scene. Oh my god, that was super cold of Rimuru. Just saying. No. Yes, that's the story of how Rimuru becomes a demon lord to revive his fallen monster brethren. I won't spoil anything about the light novel, but this is, however, connected with Clayman and the recent Walpurgis arc. It's all in the anime. It's Rimuru's ideal throughout the series. Rimuru remains pacifistic in a way where he typically do not instigate fight, but however he ain't a pushover. If you push Rimuru too far, like ruining his economic plans or hurting the country he loves and the people close to him, he will push back, such as the case with Clayman and even with Yuki. But typically, Rimuru chooses the diplomacy over violence. But of course, he is the chaos creator. He challenged every balance, especially the balance Mr. Guy Crimson and Ruminus have created over the years. He's a menace to every worldly balance, so he will fight even the balance that Rudra created over later on in the manga as well. Later on in the light novel, he will challenge it all and fight, and he continues to challenge everything by just naming demons, of course, by just giving names to monsters. And even his kill, which is Mana CL, from formerly known as Raphael. So, what are his goals for the future? Rimuru's goals and motivation for the future is to create a country, a dystopian country, where his allies, friends, comrades, subordinates, and even himself can live in peace and in leisure without being looked down upon by humans, since humans have always looked down upon demi-humans and monsters. That's essentially what the roots of his goals are. This motivation was enough for him to surpass the ultimate existences in the world, which is the true dragons, by the end of the series. And that would be it. What do you guys think of our cutest demon lord? One of my favorite recent isekai protagonists, aside from Rudius and Ainsol Gon, definitely one of my favorite power fantasy protagonists. And did you guys think I missed anything? If so, please do let me know in the comment section below. Two of the last discussion of this compilation and last, because I feel like their character arcs coincide one another. They contrast one another. One Will of the member from One Piece coincide with Joy Boy's will, and the other a much more darker Will of the member, which is Blackbeard and Ace. Ace, the one that's closer to Joy Boy, and Blackbeard taking the far and taking his Joy Boy's ideals into a more darker tone. So yes, that's gonna be the theme of these two discussions, which is Blackbeard and Ace's individual character discussion. So you know what, I think I planned this out quite handily, despite the fact that it's a quick second kind of editing. So without further ado, let's start off with Ace first, shall we? The Ace is the adopted grandson of Monkey D. Garp, sworn brother to the series' main protagonist Monkey D. Luffy, and Sabo, the biological son of the late Pirate King Goldie Roger and the equally as legendary woman Portgas de Rouge, who carried Ace in a room for 20 whole months, captain of the Spade Pirates, and finally 2nd Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates. Let me just go in a tangent here. The 2nd Division commander is home to the legendary commanders too, because the commander of the 2nd Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates before Ace was none other than Odin. So just saying, man. And it's been vacant ever since Whitebeard for the longest of time. it was vacant. It was a vacant position. So the fact that Ace was the one who inherited Odin's position. Just saying, bro. Just saying. In this video, we will be discussing the life of Ace and the impact he had in the overall story of One Piece. So, without further ado, please smash that like button and subscribe to claim your podcast Ace donuts in this channel. Without further ado, let's get on started, shall we? Start this video by me promising to not go in as much tangent as I can. I know that if I do record one of these character discussion video, I always end up getting too much tangent and getting the video further derailed. So let's go. We will start by discussing the events after the disbandment of the Roger pirate crew and his last meeting with Whitebeard. You know that scene where Roger offered Whitebeard the location, or to tell him the location of One Piece, and then Whitebeard declined that offer and instead asked for the meaning of the will of the... Yeah, that scene right there. That one with the cherry blossoms. That scene right there, that was before he met Portgas de Rouge. Then Roger met Portgas de Rouge. It was implied that they spent a year together before Roger's execution. After the execution of Roger, Rouge was pregnant with Ace, fearing that the government might figure out who Ace's father is, and this is where my tangent is gonna go. Which the fear was definitely there because, well, a rumor was said to the world government that they spot Roger before a year before his execution in an island in South Blue, which they feared that there might be kind of the lineage of Roger and his kind of son. His son might be birthed right before his execution. So, in fear of that, the world government have a manhunt for literally every woman who is pregnant and every newborn that is essentially just born right on those kind of few days that Roger was not captured. So yeah, that whole thing, but they did not succeeded in catching Rouge and Ace, so she hid and misled the world government by carrying Ace for 20 months, literally a legendary feat for any woman, and died right after he was born. Moments after Ace was born, Roger's rival Monkey D. Garp visited Rouge, and a little flashback was revealed where Roger and Garp has a little agreement that Roger said to Garp that they cannot fault an innocent child for his crime. So Garp agreed to raise and take in Ace. Without further ado, though he didn't actually raise Ace, surprisingly enough, he left him in the care of a bandit named Dadan. I mean, seriously, if you promise to take in a child, you at least have the courtesy to actually raise him yourself. I mean, seriously. Then 10 years passed. Ace then met Sabo and become friends, promising each other that they would set sail once the time is right. They gathered up treasure by fighting pirates and bandits. In a way, this doubled as combat training for the two. Then Garp drops in and drops another kid to the Don. Seriously, this guy really need to start helping in raising these kids instead of just dropping it off at the dance place. But I digress. First, Luffy and then Ace did not get along and called him out on how annoying he is. Then, eventually, after knowing Luffy's dream of becoming a pirate due to Shanks' influence, Ace and Sabo mellowed out, and a brotherhood between the three was formed, sharing the same dream, Later on, Sabo was then killed by a celestial dragon, yet a celestial piece of trash, for brandishing a Jolly Roger. In that moment, Luffy and Ace swore that they would continue the dream of becoming pirates and setting sail at the age of 17, with Ace setting sail a year ahead of Luffy. Within a year, Ace then founded the Spade Pirates and ate the Mara Maranomi, which gave him the abilities to control flames and turn his body into flame. He gained enough infamy for the world government to notice and offer him a warlord position, but he refused. He even has a marine rival named Isaka. Isaka, a little bit of a tangent about Isaka, because I really want to highlight Isaka here, because Isaka has the opposite. Isaka and Ace's relationship is the literal opposite of Luffy and Smoker, because Smoker for the longest time was Luffy's marine rival, but in Luffy and Smoker's case, Smoker was actually significantly stronger back in Logtown compared to Luffy. But in Isaka and Ace's case, Ace was stronger than Isaka. So I wonder what happened to Isaka, my dudes. What happened? And not to mention, Isaka was constantly being rescued by Ace. So her dignity by that point maybe shifting a little bit. And then, not to mention, Isaka is a pretty young lady as well. The fact that he respects Ace as a rival, and then the fact that he's significantly weaker than Ace, just find that kind of ironic, because when you compared it to Smoker and Luffy's relationship back in Longtown, So, yes, just a little bit of a preface. Let's continue on. To set his sight into traveling to the New World. I'm not really sure which timeline he was setting sail between the New World and the Paradise, but because by the time probably he met up with his Isuka, he's probably by the end of East Blue by then, so I'm not sure which timeline it is, timeline-wise. So when he was traveling in the New World, he met up with Shanks, thanked him for saving Luffy, and even went to Wano and met a little girl named Tama, who was hungry at the time and gave her food. At first, the entire village kind of robbed them, and then Ace, being the good guy that he is, he actually let them rob them, despite the fact that they're pirates. And he was very moral about it. He gave them food to eat because, well, he befriended a little girl. He befriended the entire town in general. So, yes, they had their mutual respect towards each other. He then attempted to liberate Wano from Kaido, but was promptly stopped by Yamato because the prophesied day of Wano was going to be liberated, according to Oden's journal, has not yet arrived. Their clash lasted a good while. They then developed a friendship, and telling Yamato a lot about her little brother Luffy, he then left Wano, promising Otama that he will someday return and liberate Wano. Whitebeard then takes notice of him. This scene where Whitebeard takes notice of him was a scene before he entered the New World, I think. So Whitebeard then takes notice of him, and similarly, at the time, Ace's goal was to take down the world's strongest man, which was, at the time, Whitebeard. He attacked Whitebeard, but was stopped by Jinbei. I think their clash lasted for 7 days, which that's just to pay homage on Jinbei and Ace's durability right there. Okay. Lasted for 7 days until Whitebeard steps in. There's no clear winner right there. So Whitebeard has to step in between the fight and helped the two recover. Even with that, Ace still attempted to attack Whitebeard. Each attempt ended in failure. After him and the First Division Commander Marco have a chat about why each of the crew members calls him Pops. Marco tells them that they are all family to him, to Whitebeard. They're all the Whitebeard family, that they could belong to that one family. Ace then gained respect for Whitebeard and joined the crew. Ace told Whitebeard his connection to Roger, and Whitebeard still accepted him as a member of the crew. He then gained enough infamy as a member of the Whitebeard Pirates and became the 2nd Division Commander. He then tried to convince him to help liberate Wano, but was dissuaded for the reason that was vaguely explained. I feel like it was vaguely explained. It was believed that at the time Whitebeard knows that he will have an all-out war against Kaido, and maybe did not have enough resources and to an all-out war. I mean, they do have small skirmishes between Whitebeard and Kaido in the past, but still though, Oden was a member of the crew, like of the Whitebeard crew. Oden was like a brother, a little brother to Whitebeard. So the fact that he didn't avenge, did he avenge Oden? I don't think it's officially said that Whitebeard avenged Oden, but the fact that he did not help out liberate Wano, and didn't even like have done any research to it, like he just literally ignored Wano. The fact that even Izo, that's Izo, current division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, home. He did nothing to Izo's home. Like, come on, Whitebeard, come on. It's Izo's. It's Hiyori. Hiyori is also a member of the Whitebeard Pirates. Well, not Hiyori. Oh, I mean, technically Hiyori, but the mother. Keep forgetting the name. Let me come back to that. It's probably gonna be the name. Not Komurasaki. Probably gonna be in that title card there. So, the mother of Hiyori and Momonosuke. Even Momonosuke, like, the entire family was literally a member of the crew, and yet he did nothing to freaking save Wano. So the fact that he did nothing, like, I swear, he should have at least take back Wano from Kaido. Just saying. Not completely obliterate Kaido, but just take it back, because that's like the home for like a lot of his crew members. So yeah, that's like a small little tidbit. Then this all is the event of the pre-time skip, the Marineford Warriors. So if you guys are not caught up, it's gonna be a little bit of a spoilery territory here. The 4th Division Commander Thatch found the Yami no Mi, which was also the devil fruit that a member of the 2nd Division Commander Marshall V. Teach, Blackbeard, has been looking for, and the sole reason why he joined the Whitebeard Pirates. I mean, if you are looking for a certain kind of devil fruit, of course you're gonna join the most powerful, the most influential kind of pirate crew, probably one of the largest pirate crew there is, because, well, that's just the more chances you get to encounter certain devil fruit, right? More devil fruit. So Teach killed Thatch and stole the Yami no Mi from him, which then led to a series of events. The first one to happen is Ace hunt down Blackbeard and take him in for killing a crewmate. Despite Whitebeard's opposition in the matter, Ace felt responsible, being that Blackbeard was a member of the 2nd Division. Ace was currently leading. So he wasn't dissuaded by Whitebeard's opposition. Second was the fight in Banaro Island. Third was his capture and Blackbeard handing him over as a gift to the world government and ultimately given the warlord position. And fourth was his execution in the hands of Akainu, which his death signifies a couple of things in the change of era. His will being inherited by Luffy, which was further expanded upon in Wano because Luffy was the one who liberated Wano. Kind of the will being inherited right there. And of course, the rise of Blackbeard. Another thing about that, Akainu and Ace kind of, or the world government, the pirates, is the world government really as the way they fight is more corrupted than the pirates themselves. Like the fact that Akainu strolled on to one of Whitebeard's ally, Squard, and tricked him into attacking Whitebeard, knowing that Squard has a dark history or hatred towards Roger, manipulate that whole event so that Whitebeard is a little bit thrown upon when one of his allies betrayed them, quote-unquote betrayed them. Kind of dirty-handed right there. And then the fact that in front of Ace, meanwhile he was fighting Ace, Akainu insulted Whitebeard and goading Ace to attack him. So kind of like a dirty kind of fighter in my opinion. Like he stood solo. No wonder everyone hated Akainu because he literally stood solo as to insult the man that helped everyone have a family. So for me, it makes more sense for everyone to hate Akainu more than Blackbeard because of how dirty he did Ace. Without further ado, that would be my Ace discussion video. And that is a fiery fist burns out. The Portuguese the Ace story. Oh my goodness, I love coming up with fun titles like that. Oh my god, sounds badass and serious, but in reality, there's a lot of things that I actually skip over, like Ace's journey with the Spade Pirates and the whole light novel. But you know what? I think I covered enough of Ace's backstory from childhood to execution day. So yeah, and in the other spectrum, which is contrasting Ace, is Blackbeard taking Joy Boy's ideal into a much darker ideal. Is Blackbeard? I feel like Ace and Blackbeard is contrasting each other, bro. So without further ado, let's talk about Blackbeard, shall we? I am Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach, the one who will become king of the pirates. I don't really have any Blackbeard cosplay, but is that a good impression of Blackbeard? Yes. In this video, we will be discussing Blackbeard's life as a pirate's motivation, ideals of freedom. I mean, a lot if the Marine Admirals has ideals of justice, like a kind of absolute authoritarian kind of justice. The pirates also have their ideals of freedom, strength, and abilities. My last two discussion videos is of Noel Silva from Black Clover and Portgas the Ace. For me, I typically choose my favorite characters to discuss. Pardon if it seems like it is random though. Noel and Ace are some of my favorite characters in each of their respective series, and Blackbeard is no exception, as Blackbeard is definitely one of the fascinating fascinating villains that I've come across in One Piece. So if you are interested in more of my content, please do check out my channel, my content. I do a lot of anime, gaming related content, and Pokemon related content on this channel. And of course, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy my content. Specialty Teach was a member of the Whitebeard Pirates and was found by Whitebeard in an unnamed island. I'm not sure if this was after the Rocks incidents or before or even during on the God Valley, but somewhere along the lines, Whitebeard did found Marshall D. Teach, and was later revealed that the reason he joined the Whitebeard Pirates is to lay low for so long in Whitebeard's shadow without making a name for himself, is to look for a certain devil fruit, which for me makes sense. If you're going to be looking for a devil fruit, being a member of one of the most renowned pirate crew would be the best option, since they have more chances to encounter a lot of devil fruit in the New World alone. The devil fruit in question is of course the Yami Yami no Mi, or the Dark fruit, a Logia fruit that can summon a black hole and have the advantage in complete darkness. It can also neutralize any devil fruit ability, and it was found originally by the late 4th Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, Thatch. On a little side note, it's quite ironic that Blackbeard killed Thatch. Historically speaking, Blackbeard's real name was Edward Teach and can also be read as Edward Thatch. He's an Edward too. An Edward Thatch? An Edward Newgate, yeah. Whitebeard. Or One Piece or Oda loves referencing real life pirates, and this was one of those moments where Oda basing real life historical pirates on his story, which I love. I love that historical kind of scenario. I digress. This then lead to a series of events where Ace, as the commander of the division Blackbeard was a part of, went to hunt down Blackbeard despite Whitebeard's opposition. Their fight in Banaro Island will be a catalyst for the change of era and Blackbeard's rise to prominence. I love the contradicting ideals that with Blackbeard representing a new era, while despite his age, Ace represented Whitebeard's era and the era of the era that his biological father started, which ultimately ended up losing and getting captured. Blackbeard handed over Ace to the world government. In exchange, he became a warlord, which then led up to Ace's public execution, then the Paramount War, and then ended up Whitebeard losing the war to save Ace, but it ultimately was a big dub for Blackbeard. Through becoming a warlord, he got half of his crew by gaining access to Impel Down, and for unknown method, he was able to acquire Whitebeard's Gura no Mi. Blackbeard did not, however, become a Yonko after the Paramount War. Instead, it was the war between the Blackbeard Pirates and the remnants of the Whitebeard Pirates, led by Marco, an event dubbed as the Payback War. That war happens a year after the Paramount War. The Revenge War ultimately ended in failure, with the Whitebeard Pirates breaking apart, the Blackbeard being known as the Emperor of the Sea. Yes, It is known that Blackbeard pirates has been gathering a lot of powerful devil fruit, either finding them or stealing them from devil fruit users. As an example to this, they went after Absalom's clear fruit. They even attempted to claim the Mero no Mi that was found by Doflamingo, and some spoilers for the non-manga readers, he also went after the Hancock's Mera, or the Hancock's Love fruit, but that ultimately ended in failure due to the living legend's interference. A little bit of tangent on the type of freedom Blackbeard subscribe into, that I believe. Just like how different Marines believe in different kinds of justice. Examples of this is Sakazuki being absolute justice or authoritarian, Kizaru being unclear justice, and etc. Pirates, in contrast, believes in different types of freedom, like Whitebeard being familial freedom, where no matter your background, there's a place for you to call a home. Many people have said that Luffy and Blackbeard have contradicting ideals of freedom, where Luffy is more moralistic kind of freedom, while Blackbeard is more anarchy kind of freedom, or too much freedom, which Luffy believes to be more moralistic, where he protects and helps those who he cares about, while Blackbeard, I still believe, follow on an anarchy ideal. He also wants to be the pirate king and find the One Piece, just like Luffy. This is where we get to a lot of spoiler territory. If you are not caught up in the manga, feel free to stop the video. Thank you for watching, and why not check out my other anime discussion, top 10 and top 5, and even playthrough, so leave a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. The Rocky Port incident, where Law, Blackbeard, and Kobe rose up to prominence. The Rocky Port incident was perpetrated by Law at the Rocky Port on Hachinosu. During the 2-year time skip, as I am recording this video, we know nothing about the Rocky Port incident. We know that it was perpetrated by Law to gather pirate hearts as a gift to the world government in order to become a warlord. Amidst to all the chaos, Kobe protected the regular civilians and regarded Kobe as a hero. And finally, Blackbeard was able to overthrow Uchoku. Wang Ji, and one ruling Hachinosu, and former member of the Rock's crew. It was later revealed that due to Kobe's action, that Blackbeard was able to overthrow Uchoku. Some background on Hachinosu. It was formerly the base of operation for the Rock's crew, and where the Rock's crew was formed and currently being occupied by Blackbeard, and its main base of operation as well. And before that, I think it was also revealed that Wang Ji or Uchoku was the ruling pirate before Blackbeard came to the picture, and then was kicked out due to Blackbeard literally kicking him out due to also utilizing Kobe's efforts as well, because that's just typical Blackbeard, picking up the pieces of the chaos and then just rising up to the occasion, kind of just wait, and then once all the chaos, and then he will then claim all of the pieces and claim it as his own. That's just typical Blackbeard. I mean, that's literally how he was able to defeat Whitebeard in the first place. Because the world government already weakened Whitebeard to the point where I think he can already take him down. That's essentially what Blackbeard does and will continue in doing. As of now, currently Blackbeard Pirates, during Big Mom's absence, has taken Pudding, a member of the Big Mom Pirates, and a member of the Third Eye clan that has the ability to decipher poneglyphs, and due to Law and Blackbeard's clash on the Winner Island, Law ultimately losing against Blackbeard. Blackbeard has now acquired 3 road poneglyphs. Most people would say Luffy and Blackbeard is now even in terms of how many poneglyphs they have, but in my opinion, Luffy and the Straw Hats is still ahead of the game in the race of Laugh Tale. Now hear me out. Pudding has yet to awaken her ability to decipher poneglyphs. Plus, there's also the possibility that Big Mom Pirates, Big Mom herself, or Sanji will rescue Pudding. In other words, the Straw Hats now at least have 3 people that can decipher the poneglyphs right there and then. First, they have Robin, of course. Second, there's Oden's father, Sukiyaki, and lastly, Vegapunk. So yes, for me, in my opinion, the Straw Hats still has a lot, is way ahead, because they need, in order for the Blackbeard Pirates to actually go to Laugh Tale, they have to decipher the poneglyphs, and they haven't have anyone like that. I mean, Pudding can decipher it, but her ability still is not awakened. So yeah. Meanwhile, the Straw Hats has 3 people that can decipher the road poneglyph. So, in my opinion, the Straw Hat still has the edge on that front. That would be it for my Blackbeard martially teach discussion video. If I missed something about Blackbeard, if I do, please do let me know in the description below, and tell me in the description below who are your favorite characters in One Piece and what did I miss about Blackbeard. Is there any moments that you love about Blackbeard? For me, personally, I do love his mock town entrance or his mock town introduction. That entire scene just makes me love Blackbeard. His contradiction and similarities with Luffy, Chef's Kiss. That is an epic introduction to a phenomenal villain. So yes. Wow. So the reason why I think of Blackbeard and Ace, and the reason why I saved this portion for last, I want to add something. And the reason why I think Blackbeard and Ace is contrasting each other is Ace is someone, when you take a look at the overall One Piece story, Ace is someone who gave up his dream to support another. Like, he gave up his dream to support Blackbeard and believe Blackbeard is the one who's supposed to become the king of the pirates. And in the other hand, you have Blackbeard here with the whole goal of freedom is anarchy, absolute anarchy. And he has his own ambition, who is not willing to give it up for anyone else. Many even theorize that his ideals might even be coinciding with Roxby's the back. So for me, I think of those as like contrasting to each other's ideals and beliefs, and the fact that that little interaction by Narrow Island is the catalyst of change, where it's gonna become even more chaotic later on the line. So yeah, that's just a little bit of tidbit that I want to add in my Ace and Blackbeard contrasting each other kind of segment. Without further ado, if you guys enjoyed this little compilation of sorts, to leave a like and subscribe, and you can check out more anime content on my YouTube channel, the Infinite Pink TV. So you know what, and you know what? Do check it out and leave a like and subscribe in both the second and the main channel. Yeah. Without further ado, see you guys next time for more incoming compilation video. Without further ado, see ya and have a great and wonderful evening for everyone or day. Depends on wherever you are.